Welcome to your first lesson of knowledge to understand that this system was built to keep us being a slave. Most people don't realize this yet, which is outstanding, but we are living in modern day slavery. No, this is not your chains and whips, it's something far more invisible and subtle. Today, we're going to talk about the financial system and how it's designed to keep you enslaved through debt. And by the end of this video, you'll see how most of us are trapped in a cycle of working just to pay off said debt, never truly gaining financial freedom. And I'll show you how the system was set up this way on purpose to benefit the powerful while keeping the rest of us in a never-ending loop. Pretty good, John? Alright, debt slavery. What is debt slavery, you must ask? Let's just start by understanding what it really means. When we talk about slavery in the past, we think of people physically forced to do work with zero pay. But in modern times, most people are in a different kind of slavery. Financial slavery. Instead of being forced to work, we're trapped by our own financial obligations. And here's how it works. You take out a loan, whether it's for a house, education, or even your daily expense on your credit card. Now, you have to keep working, not just to live, but to pay off that loan plus interest. The result? A significant portion of your paycheck each and every month goes not only to you or your future, but to the bank and the credit card companies. So basically, if you really break it down, it goes from debt that you put yourself in to working for said debt to then pay the debt, and then on top of that, you collect some nice, fun, lovely interest. We all love that, right? No. And then, can we guess what the last one is? Ah, yes, more debt. Welcome to the cycle of the bullshit we've been put in for the past, I don't know, maybe since the financial institutions have been created? Just thought. So, debt, work, pay, interest, debt. That's real fun. We don't want that. So basically, what this means is your ability to make choices like switching careers, starting a small business, or even taking time off gets limited, dwindled, out of your grasp or hands because all your time is spent doing those things. Why? Why? Ask yourself at the end of the day, why? Why are we doing this? Just so we can afford some things? The more debt you have, the less freedom you have. To live your life on your own terms, that is basically debt slavery. All the time that you could spend towards your future and yourself is now enslaved by your financial obligations, and which have been put there for a specific reason. So now we're going to basically discuss how the financial system perpetuates said debt. So it keeps you in debt by actually being designed in a way to do that. It's actually designed to keep you in debt. It doesn't want you to be debt free. No, that's a big no. They want you to be in debt as much as possible. That is their goal of the banks, is how can we take a normal individual, no debt, and start stacking it up on their lives? Because that's how they profit off of each and every one of us. So again, the system makes it super easy to borrow money. Banks want you to borrow it because that's how they make their profits off the interest. Again, it's just an equal exchange. At the end of the day, it's not equal at all. You're getting perpetually fucked. So, you're constantly encouraged to take on more debt through credit card loans, mortgages, and even car payments. Even like phones now. Like people are... We're not getting into that right now. Unbelievable. It's a part of life, right? This is all just a part of life, right? You go to school, you work, you get in debt, you have a family, and then you die. It's just the way we're all going. Wrong. That's terrible. That's literally a trap. What are we doing? No. But again, credit seems like this gift from the gods, this opportunity, but it's actually a financial chain. What they don't tell you is that the longer you stay in debt, the more interest you pay. And if you can only afford the minimum payments, like let's say you have a couple hundred or thousand on your credit card, you're just making $25, $50 monthly payments, that's just going to keep stacking up. Those minimum payments aren't doing nothing. Nothing at all. You'll be stuck for years, sometimes even decades, just paying off what you owe. That is so fucked. But again, this is just one piece of the entire puzzle. The financial system also works against you in other ways, like inflation, as we all see now in today's world. The value of your money decreases every year. At this rate, it's pretty much every month. Heck, even week or days, we're just losing the value of the money that we obtain. You're losing your purchasing power at the end of the day. This makes borrowing seem even more appealing because your wages can't keep up with the rising cost of living. So think about it. The banks are pumping up everything else, pumping up cost of goods, food, rent, everything, but they're keeping the wages low. So they have everything at top here, and then your wages are low. So in order to reach that gap is debt. They want everything high and wages low. So in order to reach that gap is you borrowing money and being in debt. Don't you see? It's literally like, stay with me here. It's literally like you running. You're freaking running. Running on this treadmill of never-ending life. Well, you got this money sign right here. Oh, you're just on this treadmill, running, trying to get this money, and you'll never get this because you're still in here. You have to get out of here in order to get that. This is where they want you forever, in this never-ending cycle, so you can never, at the end of the day, get what you truly want and desire. And at the end of the day, what you truly want and desire, they keep fucking up. Because the money that you're saving is losing its value. That's why, if you have these boomer-ass parents telling you, save your money, save your money, you gotta save it. What are you doing spending your money? You gotta save it, put it in your bank, put it in the bank and save it. What? Fell over right there. Let's say you have $50K in the bank. A year, it's worth $40K. 2 years, $30K. That money that you could have to use towards asset to make you more money is just losing its value. Don't ever save money. Again, people will be in the comments, you should save money because okay, I'm not saying we all live in the game of life. Things go wrong. Of course, this should be common knowledge. You should at least have a rainy day fund, an emergency fund. We'll get into that in a second. At least have that set in stone thing so you know you can fall back on some money. But past that, you should not be saving any money at the end of the day. What are you truly doing? Honestly, ask yourself, what is that money doing to help you out? You have to use that money to make more money, not just have it sit in a bank. Are you kidding me? They love this shit because they're using that money just giving it to other people, bruh. Fractional reserve. Regardless. Unbelievable. So again, it's like you're running a treadmill. It keeps going faster. No matter how hard you work, you start, I just gotta work harder. I just gotta do this. I gotta do this. You're always going to be struggling to keep up. That was a clean wipe. So if you're wondering what that is supposed to be, that is actually graduation cap. Stick with me here. If you really look at it, you might just see it for what it is, but that is a graduation cap. So before I get into this, let me just say let's look at some real world examples of how debt slavery plays out in everyday life, in which you will see and notice. You've probably seen it with student loans, credit card debt, and mortgages. Each of these is a tool that can work either for you or trap you. Take student loans for an example. The promise is that education will lead you to a better paying job. But in reality is that most graduates spend decades paying off their loans, by the time that they're debt free, they spent thousands, sometimes even hundreds of thousands more than what they borrowed. You start school, 40K loan, here you go, buddy. After you finish school and you have your job that they ever so promised, oh, this is what you need, this is what you want. And you have to spend the next 20 years paying off that double. This, forget that. You're paying this big number here. It's ridiculous. This is why the financial system is just a whole funnel designed to perpetually fuck you. Let me explain more in depth. Let's say, this is a real world example. Let's say I were to go to the bank and I have a car washing business, all right? And so I'm making good profit. I'm making like 20K profit a month. Yep, something good. And I go to the bank being like, look, this is my profit. Business has been great. I want to receive a loan for you so I can then expand my business to get more money. Here's my track record. Here's my credit score. They'll look at that and be like, no, that doesn't seem good. We're not going to do that. You don't qualify. What? But then a person right after me comes into the bank like, hey, I need $150,000 so I could go to college to study gender studies or some shit. And like, here you go. Don't even have to ask any more questions. Here's your check, $120,000 to an 18-year-old versus giving 40K to someone with an established business and great track record. Because they know that the person with the car wash business will pay off that with no problem, not accumulating as much interest anywhere near the person coming in wanting to get a degree in gender studies for 120 grand. They're looking for the people they could fuck the most. And that's where college funnels into the whole scam, people. I could go into that in a later episode. If you truly are interested in something like that, let me know. I don't know if you guys are truly interested in that, but if you are, please tell me and I'll gladly make a video going in depth about how the banks and college are utilized together to scam you further in to this perpetual reality of you spending so much money to pay off the banks. So again, 40K loan could easily turn into an 80K, and you have to pay that off over decades. It's usually decades for most people. That's the sad reality of it. Yes, they have this nice job. Yes, they spent all those years in college getting that job and attaining the knowledge in order to even apply for said job. But at the end of the day, the money they're earning from their job is just getting directly spent to pay off the loan in which they got from the bank. Clown world. And then another thing is there's also credit card debt. Credit card debt is so easy. Trust me, I fell into that trap before. No longer. Fuck that. No longer. But it's so easy. Just swipe the card. Boom. That's tap the card. Tap the card. There you go. It's not even your money. It's the bank's money. Who cares? Bam. $600 TV. Bam. New car. Bam. Especially now with the rates being as high as 20 to 30%, people can end up and will end up paying double or even triple the amount. As we can see here, double. This is just an estimated cost. Probably in the time of now, 2024, it's probably triple. That's probably 100 to 120. Unbelievable. And another example, let's say you charge $1,000 to your card. With interest, if you only make, again, the minimum payments, it could take you years to pay it off. And by the time you're done, you pay $2,500 or more the original amount of that $1,000 charge. Alright, so let's get into something that's a little bit more fun to talk about, and that basically shows how even more we're getting fucked by the banks. So, if you take a drum roll, please, of what it will be. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, my house does look like a bank, but in the same way, it kind of operates like one, and I'll make it a little bit easier to digest this information. Alright, this house, $300,000. I would love to see a house $300,000 in today's world now. So again, let's think about mortgages. The idea of owning a home is so appealing. Trust me, that's a huge goal in most people's life. I can own a home. I can pay it off and then I won't have to worry about my mortgage anymore. Oh, it'll be so nice. Oh, what a dream. Oh, I have a house. The idea of owning a home is very appealing. But what people don't realize is that a 30-year mortgage at even a modest interest rate can mean paying double the original cost of the house. This house worth $300K? No, that's getting pumped up to $600,000. So at the end of the day, you're paying $600,000 for a $300,000 house. I live in California. You go to Compton. I'm sure most of you know what Compton is. There are houses for $1 million, and the worst place you can see, like literally the most ghetto place, $1 million. You can look it up on Zillow, Redfin, any of those stupid ass things. Clown world. Clown world. No house living in places like that should be anywhere near $1 million. I'm dead ass. It's unbelievable. So again, $300,000 house. You have a mortgage. I have a mortgage. I'll pay it off. I'll pay it off just in 30 years. 30 years? What? What do you mean? How does that even remotely sound appealing to you? 30 years. Life's crazy. Most people don't even know if they're going to make it that 30-year gap. So you're seeing the end goal without even probably making it to said goal. What are we doing here? And this is just getting worse. This is getting perpetual. This is not double anymore. This is like times 3. This is now like, Jesus Christ. This is now $900,000. As we're seeing now, a $300,000 house today in California is at least $1.2 million now. On average, everything's $1 million plus just for a house. It's ridiculous. Actual clown world. This, the thing that we even let this slide is insane, truthfully. Now, as we're this deep into the video, you must be asking yourself, who benefits from all this? Spoiler alert, it ain't us. It is nowhere near us. The banks and the corporations benefit off of us. I'm going to get into that in a second. But right now, those are the two. Banks make their profits off the interest you pay. Corporations keep wages low and push products high so that you keep spending to keep borrowing. Again, I mentioned this earlier. There's a huge gap. Low wages, products high. In order to fill that gap, you're going to have to need some money. Who are you going to get that money? The banks and the corporations. Who's benefiting from this? The banks and the corporations. Again, fuck those two people. We're going to dive so much deeper into who owns those people. Why they created this, why have they done such things for videos. Right now, we're just barely tipping the top of the iceberg, but we gotta start somewhere. So, again, banks and corporations. Even governments benefit from debt. Governments love debt. And here's the funny thing is, if you live in the US, I'm sure you were aware of stimulus checks. Oh, stimulus checks. People were loving it. Like, the Joe Biden administration is giving us stimulus checks. Oh my God, $1,200 to every American. I love this. Go, Joe. What the fuck? That was a direct correlation to why inflation is at where it is. They were just printing money without a care in the world. They didn't give one shit. They were just printing it up. They print the money. And we're just loving it. We're loving this. We're basically asking to get perpetually fucked, and we're just hopping in line to get perpetually fucked. And here we are today, getting perpetually fucked. And people are like, oh, stimulus checks. No president has done this in the history of the United States. This is amazing. He's doing so well. And then at the end of the day, we wonder why everything's so inflated. We wonder why things are where they are. Unbelievable. Let me close that. Unbelievable. If you genuinely still believe that the stimulus checks were of yourself, like they were genuinely trying to help you and aid you, you're stupid. Click off this video and just sit with yourself for a second. Just figure some things out, and then you might come back to this. So, again, the government benefit from said debt. They love it. They're using it for projects and maintaining control. National debt is in the trillions. The trillions. That's an unfathomable number for most. And guess who's ultimately responsible for that? You, me, all of us. So we're basically, at the end of the day, just a cog in the machine. We're basically working for our own government's fuck-ups. They're monumental fuck-ups we are having to fix. You think these people in the government are actually going to fix their own mistakes? Fuck no! These are some losing ass pieces of shit. They're going to use any other person but themselves to fix what they've caused. So again, they just made terrible, terrible, terrible financial decisions year after year, day after day, stacking up trillions of debt. And who are they going to utilize to pay off said debt? Who else? The taxpayers. Again, what the fuck are we doing here? People, wake up to the reality of who's truly benefiting from this and why are they using us for certain things. It's unbelievable. So this whole system is basically designed so that the wealth in which we create just directly funnels upward. The wealth isn't then recycled back down to us. It just goes straight up. We're just funneling it. Here you go. Just take it. All of our hard work, basically all of our life force and energy, just give it away. Just take it. Who cares about us? We're just robots at the end of the day to these people. We're nothing. We are literally just cogs in the machine. We need to understand this, people. We are just being used by these fucktards at the end of the day. There's just some men just chilling around in a room. That's all it comes to. Just some people in a room. They're just using everyone. They don't do shit and they just use us and we're funneling wealth up. Here's all the money. Here's everything. They're doing shit. They're just typing numbers in a key. They're just making money up. It's just numbers on a screen to them. Your hard work, you're working an hour for $20, $15 an hour. It's just a number on the screen for them. You are worth nothing. You are worthless to them besides just funneling money towards them. That's all you are used for. Every single one of us. Even no matter how financially free you are, if you are still in debt, you are cycling it up towards them. They want you in debt. The only way you can get out of the system and to where they can't use you in one aspect is to get out of debt. And I'll tell you how to do that in a second, but let me just show you that we are just being used and abused day after day, year after year, decade after decade. When will this end? Like, we're not just going to keep living through this bullshit. We have the opportunity to change this, and yet we're just hopping in line. Please, please banks, please government, keep perpetuating fucking us. We love it. No. This is unbelievable. We're at the bottom of the pyramid. We're nowhere near the top. And at the rate things are going, we'll never make it to the top. Unless we make a change. We're the ones funneling this. So if we all get together, we can change. We can flip this whole pyramid. We can literally flip this shit. We need to understand that because we clearly don't. We don't, because the system has been designed to where we can't even think of that as a possibility. But it's right at our fingertips. We can make the change in a matter of seconds. We can change the whole system in a matter of seconds. If we're the biggest part of the pyramid. They can't make the top of the pyramid without the bottom. Wake up, people. Seriously. This is such a problem today. If you don't wake up every day with this burning desire to get out of eternal slavery, you're just born to lose. You're just a slave. If this doesn't truly bother you in any regards and you're just going about your daily life, just happy being a little slave, then so be it. But for those of you that truly want to make a change in this is just step one, is first attaining the knowledge. But think about this. People, we all want to grow families some days. Imagine spawning your kids in to slavery. Daddy, why can't we afford anything? Why can't we go on a trip? Why can't we live in a... because I'm in $100,000 of debt that I make. Bro, what are you doing? This is unbelievable. We need to wake up and make a change now. But for right now, now, for right now, we need to attain the knowledge that we need to use in order to make said change. And this is going to be gradual for a little bit, and then bam! This is so simple to fix. We could literally do this in the matter of seconds, overnight. It can be completely reversed, the whole system. And I know completely starting over in a system is terrifying because we don't know what's next. But I can damn well be assured that it's better than this fucking bullshit slavery that we've been in for the past, hundreds of years? That's the funny thing. They said they've abolished slavery. Yeah, they've abolished that form of slavery as they now transgress into a new modern form of it to where we don't even understand it and think that we're not even enslaved because we've been distracted by so much bullshit around in our lives that we don't even understand what we're truly in. Wake up, people, please. Please. How to break free from debt, slavery. So people, now you must be asking, how to break free from debt slavery. I'll just give you, oh shit, just stepped on the cord. I'll just give you a couple ways of which you can break free from these shackles, as I must say, these shackles that have been embedded in your feet since the day you were born, since the day they've been basically using your life force energy to funnel the wealth upwards towards their own benefit. Let me rephrase this. So, breaking free from debt slavery is extremely tough. I'll be honest with you, it's extremely difficult. It was designed that way on purpose, to where it can be so difficult that your mind just can't take it. It's like, fuck it, I'll just be a slave. It's designed to be tough. You can't have dark without light, or you can't have light without dark. So you gotta go through the shit, you gotta go through the toughness to reach the light. So, again, it is very tough, but it is possible. If you understand how the system works and take action, you can get out of it. So first and foremost, you need to stop relying on debt for your daily expenses. That's like the number one. Do not use your credit card for gas or food or any of that bullshit. Seriously. That might mean, and again, this might mean like adjusting your life. Again, in order to be rich, you might have to live poor. You might have to live well below your means, so then you can utilize that money to start paying off the debt that you already accumulated yourself to get out of it. So for the next couple months or even years, you might have to change up the way you live. Oh, boo-hoo, but at least you won't be a fucking slave anymore. Is that really that difficult to start living below your means so you won't be a slave anymore? Truthfully, ask yourself that. So again, live below your means, stop relying on credit card for daily expenses. And again, this is so worth it in the long run. So, second, start paying off your high interest debt as fast as you can. The longer you carry it, the more you're going to be paying interest. Focus on the high rates first, like credit cards, payday loans, and things like that. So you get that out of the way. That's literally just this huge, like, boom, like 50-pound weight on your chest. And you're just like happy with it sitting there, like suffocating you to the end of your existence. So please work on taking care of that and getting that out. Just clear your debt, the highest ones. Just clear it. And then third, again, like we mentioned earlier, but you shouldn't save. But you should. Again, you should not be saving money, but you should be saving for an emergency fund. Anything past emergency fund is going towards assets. So again, emergency fund, we're in the game of life. Things go wrong all the time. Going to work, tire pop, bam. Car broke down, bam. Medical issue, bam. Financial issue, bam. So again, you instead of using a credit card to fix those things and then paying the interest, you then use that emergency day fund. Again, please be smart about this. And it gives you a cushion so you don't have to rely. That hit my toe and that actually kind of hurt. So again, emergency fund. And finally, invest in assets that grow in value over time. Things like stocks, real estate, or even starting your own business. I highly advocate every single person to start your own business. It can be the smallest thing, like selling just like something on Etsy, just anything. These are fundamental things that you need to acquire in order to just transmute that into other aspects of your life. Running a business teaches you so many things. I truly believe that everyone should learn how to run a business to at least a certain extent. It doesn't have to be like your full-time thing. It can just be a part-time thing, but make it your own. Because you cannot rely on a job. A job is a big no-no. A job. Do you know what job means? J-O-B. Just over broke. Because if you get fired on some bullshit one day, your boss could just be acting strange, pulling up to work, you're done. Who knows? Something can happen, something go wrong, you lost your job. Oh, now I have nowhere else to get money. You cannot only be relying on your job to get you money. Again, assets, people. That's why people basically exclaim that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Because the poor people don't attain assets. Because with inflation, assets go up. You see the prices of houses go up. So imagine owning a house. You'd love inflation. If your rental property is now going up in value, you'd be inflation's best friends. That's what they're playing the game of. Acquire assets so when things go and inflate, you inflate with them basically as well. So again, job just over broke. Please, if you have a job, you better damn well start be working on some other shit on the side. I swear to God, if you're just relying on this, especially if you have a family, that's honestly quite stupid. Like if you truly are just relying on your job to provide for yourself and your entire family, that is not very wise of you. So I highly advise you to start switching things up in your life and acquiring assets and starting a business on the side, because you could just lose this one day over anything, and you cannot rely on this to keep you afloat, especially in today's world and economy and society. So please, make money work for you, not against you. Again, this is the part that people have a tough time understanding, is at first you are going to have to utilize your own time for money. But then once you pass a certain threshold, you could then utilize said money to make more money. So now you're not utilizing your time. Use your money to make more money, not your time. That's a fool's game. We're not fools anymore. We're smart and we're knowledgeable. So don't go down that stupid route of using your time for money. Maybe at the start, for a short period of time, again, you need that initial money to start funding towards other things and assets. But in the long run, use your money to make you more money. Okay, so checklist. Let me get over here. So at the end of this video, I want you to at least start planting the seeds and roots that you can do to check each off one of these. You know how good it's going to feel to check off each one of these things that I'll now write down? Amazing. Because then you're just one step closer to not being a fucking slave. Because what the fuck? So again, first thing, build emergency savings. Build emergency savings. Next up, if you've been paying attention, what will it be? Think to yourself, thank you. Paying off high interest. Interest. Next, invest in assets. Invest in. It's a big one. I'm going to start that because that's your way to get out of slavery. Easiest way. And then reduce reliance on credit. I'm actually not even going to freaking write that because that should be obvious at this point. Utilize your credit cards as little as possible to the point where you can just chop that shit in half. Just fuck that shit. And I can't even believe parents in today's world are giving like their 18-year-olds a credit card. Like, even if they're financially sound, a credit card to an 18-year-old will do psychological problems that will just further perpetuate their life to a life of slavery and loserdom. So again, if you're a parent, don't get educate your kids on financial literacy and that a credit card is not their best friend but their most and biggest enemy. Credit cards are your biggest enemy. And if you think otherwise, you're wrong. So again, checklist, build emergency savings, pay off high interest rates, and then invest in assets. In that order would be spectacular. And they're like, why would you do? Just follow it. So again, the truth is, people, as we're aware, debt slavery is real. But you do not have to be a victim anymore. The first step to breaking free is understanding how the system works. And that is my job, to make you knowledgeable in such that aspect, so we could then conquer it all and change this forever and for the better and good. And like I said, this is exactly what I'll be doing and covering my upcoming videos. This just scratch the this is just a throw together video. I'm just trying to put this out there. The next videos I have are just going to be mind blowing. I'm going into deep stuff. I'm talking about who's owning this stuff. I'm talking about why. I'm talking about the control. I'm gonna start listing names. And you're gonna start looking these people up after these videos, like, damn, that's a fucking demon. Damn, that's an evil ass person. People at the top are demons, bro. And we're just being used in their whole system to just funnel wealth upwards to just benefit them. We should be sick of this by now. We are sick of this by now. And yet, we don't know what to do, and that's the biggest problem, is we must know what to do. But again, it all starts with knowledge. And again, knowledge is power, but only if you use it. Now again, I can say, like the video, subscribe, truthfully, comment, I don't care about that. Make a folder, call it financial literacy, and save it in it. Save this video in a folder so you can go back to it, and then start adding more videos to the folder that I will be creating. Because that's more important to me than subscribing or liking or commenting. I rather care that you are knowledgeable in this, and then we can use that knowledge as power. So again, this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it to the end. You're a true G. Welcome to a life of no longer being a slave. Again, gradual steps. We'll all get there eventually. Have a good year.